Good evening, everybody. I'm Shawn Hansen. You're watching Shawn Hansen's Comedy Corner. Today I have with me a very special guest from Sonnet, Massachusetts, Jim Young.
That's right.
How you doing? Did I say a sonnet right?
Close.
Yeah? Close?
A sonnet.
A sonnet?
Yes.
The first time I realized you were from a sonnet, I thought you said Winsonnet, and I spelled it W-I-N-S-E-N-T.
Yeah. I haven't heard that one yet, but there's been very many variations of a sonnet. So yeah. don't feel bad.
So you've been doing comedy for the last year. You started last year, March 1st.
This is my first time on stage, yeah.
And since you've been in it for a year, did you do anything special for your 1-year anniversary, first of all?
Not really. I went to a workshop at Motley's.
Yeah.
Did some time in an open mic. Went home.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
We'll celebrate when there's when I do something more than just not quit.
And when you were at Motley's, tell me about that night.
I was actually just a brutal night. Did not go well.
Oh no!
It was an odd crowd. Couple people brought friends.
Yeah.
So they were kind of talking during everyone's set, and it was one of those. I kind of dragged myself there after work, and wasn't really feeling that funny.
Oh jeez.
Which worked out because I wasn't that funny that night.
Yeah.
So. But it was all right. It's one of those nights you're glad you win because you win.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But then 2 days later, I had my best set probably ever at the studio.
Oh wow, very nice. So you do a lot of stuff at the studio there?
Yeah, I'm getting to it semi-regularly now. I think I've done like 4 or 5 shows there.
Oh wow, that's perfect.
So.
And so you've been doing comedy for a year, but first of all, when you got into the industry, what inspired you to do comedy?
Actually, I went on vacation with my wife to LA, and we went and saw a live taping of The Big Bang Theory.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Which is her favorite show, so we went and saw that, and I was like, this is really cool. Like, but I'm not really at the point in my life where I can go be a unemployed waiter in LA. So I came back and tried to figure out something else to do, and stand-up seemed the most attainable goal of something that I actually really enjoy. Yeah. So took some classes and got at it.
That's awesome. And when you were in LA and you saw The Big Bang Theory, what was the best part of the show that maybe inspired you to get into this?
I think it's just watching the actors kind of in between takes, and then kind of working at it, coming back, and then they stopped in the middle of the show and did a rewrite. Oh wow! So we saw 3 or 4 variations of the same joke, and just kind of watched how they crafted it. It was much more the writing that appealed to me than the actual. Not sure I want to be a sitcom actor anytime soon, but.
And when you were in LA, did you know you were going to go on the set first of all, and how did you get there?
Yeah, we knew. That was one of the things that we planned ahead of time was to see a showing.
Oh wow, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you came back and you took that class. Who did you take that with, and how long?
I went to Improv Boston. Yeah. I took Dana's class, Dana J. Bine.
Oh, okay.
But I actually didn't take it until January because by the time I got back, they'd already booked the semester. Yeah. So I took that class, which lasted a couple months. I took level 2 with Maria Ciampa, and then just been on my own.
On your own.
Yeah.
Since the class.
Exactly. Sounds very daunting that way.
Yeah. And taking the class from Dana J. Bine and Maria Ciampa. Tell me a little bit about their comedy and how they teach young comics prepare to go on stage.
Dana was great because he actually just kind of taught us a little bit about the forming of a joke, but mostly just let us start writing our own stuff, and then we would just get up in front of class and just start going through it. And he would give feedback and kind of point you in a different direction. And most of his directions to me were, "You're too wordy. Yeah. Trim it down."
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'd end up with jokes that were probably a full page, and by the time he was done with it, they were like 3 lines.
Oh really?
So lots of fat.
So when you have a joke that say is 1 page long, and then you have to trim it down to 3 lines, what do you do to the rest of the joke that was on that page? Do you keep it?
Most of the stuff they get rid of is just not funny. I mean, you kind of pull out the parts where if you read it, you would think to yourself, if it wasn't a joke, why would you care about that? Just little details. Like, I was at a party and then I did this and then this, and then the setup is 3 instances later, and you can hack that whole that whole beginning part out. No one cares I was at a party. They only care, you know, that I fell down the stairs or whatever.
They only care about the part that they think's the most funniest.
Exactly. Yeah. The setup, you know, doesn't really matter so much as in actual details.
Yeah, exactly. So. Like it's like me. I've been on the TV, obviously, and this is my show. And then
this is your show?
Yeah, it is. It looks a little bit like me.
That's
my hair was short for a while, but now it's long again. But because people were like, "That's not you."
It's a younger you. It's a dashing Shawn Hansen.
And I heard people say like you're your own worst critic or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it can get like that. There are times when I tape something that I've done and I just haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Or I've got a video from the studio and brought it back and like, nah, I put it off a couple days before I watch it, and you know. But it goes both ways. Sometimes I think I do really well when I watch it, and I'm like, well, maybe not quite as well. And sometimes you think you did terrible, and you watch it again, and you're like, actually, it wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, wow, that's great. Now, so you'll watch your shows a few times if that needs to be, and what are you looking for?
Lulls, mostly.
Yeah.
One of the first bits of advice that Rick Jenkins, the owner of the studio, gave me after my first set there was, he's like, you're giving away the joke. You're basically telling people this is what the joke is. So now here's why you should laugh. And he'd point out, you know, go back and listen to it and just listen for the quiet parts. And you know, there would be sometimes, you know, there were like 30 seconds between, you know, just it's the same as initially. It was just too much setup to too few punches. But
oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Stepping stones.
Exactly. I'll look back on that someday and laugh. Yeah. Or cry, it's fine.
Or cry. Either one, as long as you get an expression.
It'll be an emotion.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And you recently got married this past October. Tell me a little bit about that. Where was that?
I did. We got married in Connecticut, which is everyone's dream. Everyone loves Connecticut.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We had a very fun wedding. Like 150 people or so at what used to be a department store. Yeah. Like an old-fashioned style department store.
Oh wow.
That they had turned into a function hall. So the venue was great. The ceremony everything went perfectly. There were no issues. And then we went to Hawaii for a couple weeks.
What part?
Oahu for a few days, and then Maui for about a week.
Did you go snorkeling or anything?
We did. We did the snorkeling, the kayaking. We did some zip lining. Rented a Corvette.
Oh man!
For the week, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we kind of lived it up, you know, living the dream for a couple days before reality set back in.
And what did you do for your bachelor party back?
Nothing too crazy. I had a group of probably like 8 guys. Just went out to different bars. Yeah. Watched some sports. Drank beers, and then apparently they got me drunk enough to go up on stage at a piano bar and sing the Humpty Dance.
Oh wow! So you're a singer too?
No.
Or just when you get there?
Just one song. I will karaoke the Humpty Dance all day long. But the secret of that is you don't actually have to sing to do that song well. So it's good to know your limits, and my range is I can't sing.
Definitely. And now transitioning into comedy, stuff in your life like the department store that you got married at. It used to be a department store, and then it was a function hall. Yeah. And then your bachelor party and some parts from Hawaii, Oahu, and the zip line. Will you incorporate that into your comedy?
There are a lot of things that a lot of my comedy is kind of my life experience. I haven't really put too much of the wedding and stuff in. It was such a blur that I didn't take good enough notes. Yeah. It's all kind of clumped together. But I do a lot of things. Like I have jokes about. I open up with a joke about myself because I guess you make fun of yourself first, and people kind of roll with it. And then some of the other things are just thoughts that pop into my head while I'm watching TV or at the gym, and I do a bit about the gym. I do a bit about my sisters. I have a story of when I was actually at a party and ran into a very strange gentleman at the gas station. So.
Oh, gas station. So what was this story about the gas station?
He had some very interesting life advice about how you really don't need to worry about certain things because it's only possible to get certain STDs one time. So I don't know what the the communication rules are on the show. So that's
yeah,
about
you can
as
say whatever you want.
Yeah, it's about as clear as.
So did he just like see you pumping gas and randomly walk up to you?
No, no. My buddy was buying condoms, and he saw the condoms, and that prompted the.
That's what happened.
Yes, that's what happened.
And then you were outside, and then your buddy told you or something.
No, we were standing right in line inside, and he just
amazing.
turned around and just saw him, and he's.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't need those. Like, oh, you should be careful.
Yeah.
You're just trying to make awkward conversation with the drunk guy in line at the gas station.
That's funny.
That's when he laid it on us.
Oh boy. And then you have your sister joke, and then the gym. And how did these establish?
Well, the sister jokes are just, I mean, I grew up with 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some of it, you know, it's obviously you play with the facts a little bit and you kind of stretch, but like my main opener is about how I got a bunch of things handed to me because I was the youngest. Mm-hmm. But, you know, those things were like old clothes and, you know, unrealistic expectations. Yeah. And then, you know, the joke is that the clothes never fit. Mm-hmm. Or they were never cool like my friends have, but my friends didn't grow up with 2 older sisters. Yeah. So. You know.
And then, do you go to the gym a lot? And
I do.
Yeah,
I do. So it's just you spend enough time there. There's some very interesting characters.
And what's the story about the gym you got? As my desk falls apart.
A couple different ones. Just you know, different groups of people that are there. You know, you see the people who drive around the parking lot for an hour, and then, you know, to get close to the building, but then they go in and walk on the treadmill. You know, for 40 minutes. So. Yeah, and then this one guy was there who just had a very odd workout routine. It was very flamboyant. Yeah. Even though he was a very muscular guy, but he looked a little bit like he was, you know, something out of like Flash Dancer.
Really? Oh, man.
Something. So you see some very odd things when you spend enough time there. So
that's good. Your comedy is based on your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And in your comedy, do you have any like different mannerisms you do on stage? And
I'm trying to get as close to my normal conversation and personality. I mean, I feel like I'm twisted enough when I'm with my friends that that's probably good enough. But it's just a matter of building up the comfort level to where you're, you know, just talking like this, even though you're sitting, you know, standing up in front of, you know, X number of people. So yeah, but it's me.
Well, that's good. I thought it was Steve Young.
No, I'm not left-handed either, so it can't be Steve.
Oh, you're righty, so yeah, it can't be. No relation?
No.
That'd be cool.
No, unfortunately, there are a couple famous athletes, last name Young, but I don't believe that there's any lineage directed to me, unfortunately.
So when you grew up in a sonnet, I know I said that wrong.
That's fine. That's the typical
a sonnet.
Pronounce a sonnet.
A sonnet.
Yeah.
A sonnet, so it's a long O, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do any sports or anything while you were there?
Yeah, I played basketball in high school. I played baseball before high school. That was about it.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of video games, a lot of wiffle ball.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
I was better at the baseball games on TV.
Exactly. You had to do less work.
Yeah,
it's easier.
That's true.
So
you could sit down in your pajamas in the room and stuff.
Exactly. Wiffle ball during the summer, video games during the winter, and then basketball after school.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
And in comedy so far, who are some of the comedians you performed with, and what comedians stand out to you?
I think one of my favorites is actually someone who took the classes with me.
With Dana?
Yeah, he took it with Dana, and then level 2 at Maria Al Park, who's I think is just hysterical. And he's only been doing it as long as I have, and he's just, you can just tell he just kind of gets it. So he's very funny, and he and I bounce ideas off each other. So he's a good resource in that way. I've been fortunate. I've been on some shows at the studio where Gary Goldman has shown up to close the show, and it's always fun when you go from seeing younger people and then, you know, more seasoned people, and then just seeing a pro who's been doing it forever, and it's like the level just, you know, it's night and day. But I mean, every time I've seen him, he's just absolutely just crushed.
That's amazing. And what is your favorite part of Gary Goldman's act?
I love the simplicity. He does a joke about the Karate Kid being on demand, and it's just